says female on my ID and hormones, and I mean, I'm registered as a female with the gym, so.
Well, that settles it.
That settles it. I guess you can just swing-a-ling around the locker room. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Women get over the dog.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gays, where we take on LGBT insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo.
Sorry, I don't want to say it.
You have to say it. I'm here with Clarkson Lawson.
Oh, join as a normie.
Become a member.
Become a member and pay for it, because we're going to be blind reacting to Lily Tino's OnlyFans.
We're going to do that, and only members are going to be able to see our reaction. So hit join the channel down below. But now, Clarkson, have you seen this story about the gym in California?
I have, actually. This is the one time I know what we're talking about.
Okay, so we are going to react to that, particularly the coverage that TMZ did. I gave my take on my main channel about this, but I'm very curious for your perspective. So let's look at this clip and then react.
It was an issue at GAYS Gym in West Hollywood over the weekend, and it got explosive.
Yes, when singer Tish Hyman, had enough, and she let the people at GAYS know that she was very upset that she had gone into the locker room and seen male genitalia. This is just a little bit of Tish letting everyone at GAYS know what was going on, and then she's going to join us to talk about what the repercussions were for this.
GAYS Gym! Men! Grown men with big in the women's locker room!
She gave no.
No, she didn't.
And I want to make sure the girls know. Everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one saying, and I'm done with it. It's stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
So she has had her membership at GAYS revoked.
Yes, and before she left, she was able to confront the person that she saw in the locker room.
I thought it was going to be like a passing transfer.
And then they show it at the end.
Oh, no. I'm so conflicted on this.
There's so many more details about this person, the male person, that are gonna you won't be conflicted.
I just feel like, well, I'm conflicted on what the solution is. I'm not conflicted on who's wrong in this situation. She's following her gut. That guy clearly looks like an autogynephile or just a creep.
Spoiler alert, he is.
Oh, well, there we go. And is she a lesbian?
Yes.
I was going to say she was giving lesbian and while she was screaming.
What do you
that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's men in the locker room. That I'm like, honestly, no wonder she's so offended by seeing a penis.
But like, joking aside, I do feel bad for her. She was made uncomfortable. This guy was walking around the locker room. This is a male. This is a person who has, I think, been on hormones for a couple months, he said in the TMZ interview.
And just started going into the women's room.
And under California law,
he's allowed to.
Anyone just has to say they feel, and they can't ask for any paperwork, any diagnosis, anything. You can just walk in. You can even just say, I feel non-binary, and they are legally allowed to let you use the room of your choice, locker room, bathroom, all of that. That's insane.
You know what I think? I think there should be a commission where you send your headshots in and they go, oh, you pass. You can go.
Clockable?
Not clockable. Because really, that's the only solution. I can't expect a like fully passing, and we always use Blair White as an example because everybody knows who Blair White is, especially our audience. I wouldn't expect Blair White to go into the men's room.
But they just built this gym. They couldn't build a third space, like a gender neutral
Yeah, I mean, I guess
room.
a third space would be better, but that still wouldn't be enough for them because they don't want gender neutrality. They want to be in the opposite.
Well, it would be enough for reasonable people. It wouldn't be enough for the people who abuse this.
Correct.
Who actually want to make, like this guy, you will see, wants to make women uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, because he's probably into it. He's probably doing what gay guys do in the locker room by walking around like looking for some pecker to look at. I don't do that, but I'm saying that's a thing.
He's like,
no.
I'm
saying that's a thing in male culture. And if a male is now that's straight has access to a female locker room, I can imagine they would do the same.
I don't want to cast aspersions at all trans women who are attracted to women.
Sorry, guys.
But there is a pattern where the trans women who date men are like typically very non-threatening, blending in.
Yes.
And then it's the trans women who are interested in women
that end up being a little...
That end up being the autogynephiles, or not to say they all are, but all the ones that are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know, honestly, I guess that we would come with the same problem because sexuality is like self-diagnosed. But ideally, I would love if locker rooms were based on sexuality rather than. But there would be no way. So. There would be no way to actually do that.
I just think it should be based on biology.
I'm saying in an ideal world. I'm not saying that this is actually something that could come to fruition. Because the whole idea of separating the sexes in locker rooms is because your genitalia is arousing.
It's not just that.
I mean, that's part of it. That's what makes genitalia like.
But like, I would be uncomfortable changing in a women's locker room with women, and I'm not uncomfortable changing around men.
I wouldn't.
Well, anyway, back to...
I don't know. I'm just trying to rack my brain for any solutions because it's like technically, if we say Blair White should go into the women's locker room, so can this person.
Well, okay, but like, I don't actually...
Where's the line that gets drawn?
I think you could have you have to actually have a gender dysphoria diagnosis and be on hormones for 2 years. Minimum. Some sort of, if you were going to allow trans people to use their preferred bathroom, minimum threshold.
Been on hormones for 2 years.
Actually. Well, Lily Tino belongs in jail, so that would solve this whole problem.
I'm just saying, like, it's like, that doesn't change the fact that some people aren't going to transition well.
Yes, but I agree. But this case, you could prevent a lot of the problems.
You could. I mean, there's guardrails that we could put up, I guess.
And then in California, they just have free-for-all.
Yeah.
And I think women do get victimized in that situation.
Well, like I said in one of our other episodes, what this comes down to is the fact that men need a safe space from other men. And rather than teaching men to be more open to men who cross-dress or men who might be transitioning, we have shifted that burden onto women, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they deserve it. But that's just what's happened.
And this is a case that just involves a creepy person. So it's
very obvious who's wrong in this.
Yes. Situation. And you have to see the clip of the trans person being interviewed by TMZ. Listen to her, lovely, ladylike, totally not at all someone with domestic violence charges against women in their past. We'll come to that.
Well, joining us now is one of the people that Tish says she confronted in the locker room. Her name is Alexis Black, and she's joining us now. Alexis, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi.
Hey, Alexis. So,
did you hear that?
I can't do this anymore. There is no. Oh my God.
It's just a fetishistic dude with lipstick on. This is not a person attempting to be a trans woman in any serious sense.
Gold's Gym. I love Gold's Gym.
Well, I will say I understand Tish's frustration, but people are wrong to blame the gyms.
It's California law.
At least in this case, California law requires them. They can't tell this person they can't go in the women's room.
Right.
So what do you want them to do? I don't know. People get very mad at the gym. They're not allowed to do anything else. Get mad at Gavin Newsom or the state legislature. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
So we spoke with Tish, and she said when she came face to face with you, it was obvious to her you were a man. So, I don't want to get terribly graphic here, but can you kind of explain, how you appeared? Do you believe that she was reading something in that you didn't appear to be male? She perceived you to be such.
Well, first, I told the people that raised me that this is the way that I was when I was 8 years old, and really, I stuffed it down pretty deep, and I began using hormones this year in February, and I actually relinquished that information to her about, name change, and it says female on my ID and hormones. And I mean, I'm registered as a female with the gym. So.
Well, that settles it.
That settles it. I guess you can just swing-a-ling around the locker room. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Women get over the dog.
Let's put some urinals in there, too, while we're at it.
My ID says female.
Yeah.
You're still not.
I mean, what? Like,
you're not female. That's one thing is I do wish that they would even in their own advocacy make a distinction between gender identity and sex, because you can claim your gender identity as a woman and we can debate whether that's a real or coherent concept. You can't claim you're female.
No.
Like you're literally definitionally not. And the fact that you're registered with the gym or it's on my ID. Okay, if my ID said black, I wouldn't be black.
Right.
Even if the law said I was, I still wouldn't be.
Also, like, there comes a point where if you're trans, like, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, I still look like a man.
And you know what's funny is,
even, like, not this guy aside, because he's clearly, like, a predator and a creep.
Just in general.
In general. But, and I'm saying guy because it's very obvious. Like,
what do you mean? She's registered as a female with the gym.
Especially if they have charges and stuff. But, like, if you're trans, it's going to be really hard for the general population to support the community when this is the reputation that they have. So maybe, like, police your own community if you don't pass.
I saw Brianna Wu, who's a Democratic trans woman who's been trans for like decades and blending in. Talk about how trans women used to tell other trans women, like, you are not ready to go into women's spaces. You do not pass. You need to stay out until you're further along in your transition.
Yeah.
And
well, it's still very, like, that's still a thing. It's just not online.
And these people don't care because their point is to make people uncomfortable.
I think somebody like this doesn't have other trans friends because the amount, like, I go out with the dolls all the time and they clock each other. They're like, you're Adam's apple. Oh, you're a 5 o'clock shadow. You say shit like that all the time, but it doesn't happen online because it's like, oh my God.
Microaggression.
Yeah. But it needs to, because this person who's probably chronically online now thinks he or she can exert power over people because of their transition.
Let's watch the rest of this, and then I'll read you that reporting about those charges.
Oh, God.
Allegedly.
I'm just wondering if you see her perspective. She's saying that she's looking at you, say, in a towel, and you still have male genitalia, and you know, you may be transitioning, but could you understand her being uncomfortable?
Well, I certainly do not understand it, but I do get the notion of the fear-mongering that she's perpetuating.
You don't understand how a lesbian would be uncomfortable in their locker room seeing a pee-pee?
Well, apparently it was covered with a towel.
I bet you he was poking.
It was poking. Oh, yeah. And also, this wasn't one instance, to be clear. Tish had seen this person and other trans women who were obviously male like a bunch of times over the course of several weeks. It's like a recurring issue. It's not a one-time thing, which makes me understand the crash out a little more.
Yeah.
Because the crash out was a little extreme.
It was. Yeah.
But also Tish...
Unless it was very apparent that he was getting off on it. Because if the only way that I would have a crash out like that...
But Tish, I think, has some trauma from being... or at least hinted at this in another video that I don't have ready.
Okay.
That Tish she was like hurt as a child or something. And so this was traumatizing and triggering in the actual sense, not in the like...
Right.
And I do understand that. I still think you probably shouldn't cuss out the employees. It's not really their fault.
Yeah.
But it's just fear-mongering.
I mean, that's crazy. That's insane. She's just spreading fear-mongering. Like, no, your thingy is hanging. Like, any woman would have a problem.
I don't even understand. What part of going to the gym even... if you're a trans woman, you just want to go work out, can't you just go shower at home?
Well, some gyms, the bathrooms are in the locker room.
You're telling me there's no other bathroom at the Gold's gym?
Usually no. Like, my gym doesn't have other bathrooms. They're just in the locker room.
Okay, but why are you walking around in a towel?
Because they're probably using the steam room or the sauna.
Yeah, and just don't do that.
Look, everybody deserves to be treated equally, but at some point you just got to realize you've got a few years until you can go use the sauna. Okay? Take a few years off, Because that's the reality of the situation.
Or
it's not going to be fair. Like, there's no solution that's fair.
They can keep doing what they're doing, and just all trans people will be banned.
Will be banned from that. That's what I'm saying. It's like there is no fair solution to this. So at some point, trans people like this need to look at themselves and go,
if the option is open door and creeps like this come in, or all trans people get pushed out, society is going to go with trans people get pushed out.
Right. And I don't agree with that, but
I agree with it if you have to choose between the two. I would rather have I would prioritize the
I have to think
general population.
I have to think about
Well,
that.
let's just roll the rest of this clip.
So, but about the bathroom, am I entitled to it? I know that I'm a woman. Should they have built another one to necessitate building this room? People would have to have the level of comfortability within themselves that I do. Not everyone possesses this much feminine power. It doesn't happen. Not in this patriarchal system of which we've been living for so long.
Patriarchy? You want to talk about patriarchy with a schlong between your legs invading the locker room? That's wild.
It's giving American Jessica Yaniv.
Yeah. Oh my God. That also, what did he say? He said so many words.
Divine feminine energy?
No, he just said so many words that I don't think were actual words.
Well, the one that you reacted to is an actual word.
Yeah, that's an actual word. I realized that after I said that. His sentences weren't really making any sense.
No. Well, we do have an update on this individual. Shocking headline. Trans person accused of exposing self in women's locker room was convicted of brutally beating ex-wife before taking her name. The transgender person caught up in this is from the New York Post. This is allegedly, reportedly, we don't know this, confirmed anyway, but the transgender person caught up in a viral LA gym bathroom row had been convicted of assaulting their now ex-wife while living in Ohio as a man before taking the victim's first name as their own. Alexis Black ran afoul of women at a gym in Beverly Hills, including singer-songwriter Tish Hyman, who accused them of exposing themselves and harassing her in the locker room. It was like through the towel, but still. Black, formerly Grant Freeman, pleaded guilty in 2022 to savagely beating their wife, Alexis Freeman, causing a compound fractured jaw, among other serious injuries. So, one, Tish's fear was clearly valid and vindicated. And how freaking insane is it?
Her instincts were tapped in.
Mm-hmm. They were.
God damn. Also, isn't it interesting, that her last name's Hyman?
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. I was more focused on the fact that her trans name is the wife's name.
That's some serial killer type of shit.
I'm glad that girl got out alive.
No, that's wild.
But how crazy is it that the gender policies in California are so extreme that even a convicted, or I guess pled guilty, so like you did it, right?
I think
can go in the women's bathroom.
There's a middle ground there where if
any criminal history, you go in the men's.
Go in the men's.
How is that a hot take?
I think that would be a fair middle ground. There's probably some other solutions that
I think if you are going to try to allow bona fide trans women to use the women's room, which I've never really had an issue with, you need to have a diagnosis, multi-year requirements, clean background check, no criminal history, and then we can talk. But this open door stuff, this person is legally entitled in the state of California to go into any women's locker room at their whim in public under human rights law.
That's wild. But then again, it's like, okay, so then if we were to put all those requirements in place, so if a trans person's in there and somebody wants to challenge it, they're going to have to go through what? A legal proceeding just to prove that they're allowed in a bathroom? So that's not, it sounds, in theory, that sounds like a good solution, but in practice, it's like, it really is an all or nothing type of
I don't think so, because
I think
you could have some sort of process by which you can change your ID to say your gender identity is woman, and you have to have a diagnosis and multiple years of therapy.
Like what's that Real ID star? Maybe they'll put a little thing next. So we're going to be putting stars on them. That would be. See, this is the thing.
They can wear a big star.
No, see, that's why I'm so conflicted with this, because yes, California's laws are all or nothing, but there really is the only.
I don't think so. I think you can have a process. So everyone's by their ID. Your ID lists your sex. And then you can go through an extensive process to get your ID to also list a gender identity of woman that then maybe allows you into bathrooms or what have you.
Okay. So then if you
But it still says
you're
male.
only allowed to change your ID if you don't have any prior convictions.
And if you have a diagnosis and multiple years of therapy.
Okay, I think that's fair.
And then use the IDs as the litmus test. If somebody challenges you, you show your ID.
I think we just...
I don't think that's that crazy.
We should pitch that.
Yeah. Pick me.
That was good.
Anyway, guys, we feel bad for Tish, I think is to clear.
Yeah. And Tish was right, clearly.
Clearly. And I didn't even know the part about the criminal history when I covered this on my main channel. And then I saw this and I was like, least surprising twist ever.
The broken jaw is crazy. And then taking her name.
I'm glad she got out alive.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know what you think. Become a channel member so you can watch us react to Lolitino's OnlyFans. And maybe Clarkson will hit her up to collab.
I might.
Ew.
Not on OnlyFans, for the channel.
No, you meant OnlyFans.
That's being disgusting.
Let us know what you think. Subscribe, comment, like, yada, yada, yada. And we'll be back with more Normal Gays real soon.